In this video, we're going to look at roots of cubic polynomials. So just before we start, I'm sure you guys are aware that polynomials, cubic polynomials in specific, they can be written in the form of ax cubed plus bx squared plus cx plus d. And it's always the positive of the x cubed term, the negative of the x squared term, the positive of the x term, and the negative of the sort of constant term that we sort of deal with in this question. Now, when we do form our expressions, we can say that, well, alpha plus beta plus gamma. In this case, it would just be equal to 0. In actuality, it's equal to b over a, but because our b value is essentially 0 here because there is no x squared term, it would be equal to 0 in this case. Moving on, we can say that alpha beta gamma would be equal to d over a. Actually, just before that, let's form the other expression, which students like to do it in this format, where it's beta gamma plus alpha gamma plus beta alpha. All of that would be equal to, or alpha beta, whatever way you want to write it out, c over a. In this case, our c value is minus 5, and we divide that by our a value, which is the coefficient of x cubed, and we take the positive of the coefficient of x cubed. Do note that I've taken the positive of c, because that's how we deal with this in the scenario. That would be just 2. Moving on to what I was mentioning before, alpha times beta times gamma would be represented by d over a. Now our d value, we take it as the negative of the constant term. So in this case, it would be negative 7 over the coefficient of x cubed, which is 2. Now that we've got that, we need to think about how we can represent this in either one of these three formats. Well, actually, if we think about combining these three with one common denominator of alpha, beta, gamma, what we can do is, well, with this first fraction, to get into that denominator, we have to multiply by beta gamma. So we write beta gamma here. To make the second fraction with the same format, we multiply by alpha gamma. So that's alpha gamma. I'm writing gamma as two different scenarios. I've just realized the only reason why I'm choosing this one now is because that's what it's mentioning in the question. But either one is fine. And then with this third term, you have to multiply top and bottom by alpha beta. Once you've done that, you can represent this whole of this numerator as minus 5 over 2 before dividing all of that by alpha beta gamma, which is minus 7 over 2. When you do divide those, what you'll end up with is 5 over 7, which is the final answer to this question. Be sure to leave a like if this video helped and subscribe. I'd appreciate it a lot. Thanks for watching your video. I hope it helped. If you have any tutoring inquiries for A-level further maths, be sure to hit my website up at www.excelineducation.co.uk.